The Amped Up Show, Thursday, November 21st, 2024. On today's show, we're going to do something we've never done before, and I'm really excited to do it. In about a half of an hour, AEW is going to hit the airwaves with their weekly Dynamite show. So full transparency, even though this is Thursday's Amped Up Show, this is actually being recorded Wednesday evening, a half an hour out from Dynamite. And that is because even though BC is not able to catch Dynamite every Wednesday, I have a lot of business outside of pro wrestling, especially on Wednesday nights. So I am never able to catch a live Dynamite. And I cannot remember the last time I caught a Dynamite, even after the fact, in totality. But I made it a point tonight to carve out this 2 hours. I am not only going to watch the entirety of this Dynamite live, I am going to record this throughout. We are going to do a live watch-along, reaction, and review. More importantly, a live breakdown, a live analysis of this show. Now, it won't be in streaming format, right? Truly live as it's happening with everybody in the chat. And the reason for that is I want all of my undivided, keen attention to be on this show tonight. That's the whole reason I'm doing this, is because I want to see if what everybody is saying about AEW Dynamite is accurate. Is it factual? Because right now, AEW is being stomped by the community. What was once the really cool thing, the in thing, is the farthest thing from cool. They're the laughing stocks of the community. They're being absolutely trashed at every spectrum of this community. It's just a bad show throughout, is what we're being told. It's at the lowest that it's ever been. Eric Bischoff claiming it is the worst professional wrestling show he's ever watched. Maybe that is all factual. Maybe everybody's just jumping on the Bash AEW bandwagon. That's possible too. BC has not been able to watch this product like many of you. Tonight that changes. So I wanted to see, is what everybody's saying, is it true? Is AEW, has it gone that bad that quickly? Not even a year ago, it was still the thing. Vince gets Das Boot, Hunter gets in charge of the E creatively, and everybody jumps ship over to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's cooking every single show. Meanwhile, Tony Khan, he's getting stomped on by the community. Is it justified? Are the shows that bad? Or is that just a narrative? Are they not that bad, but because the thing to do is to stomp on them when they're down, kick them when they're down, it's just easier just to say it's all trash. BC is going to watch tonight finally. If there was ever a term casual fan, at least for this show, BC is that fan. So captivate me tonight. Now is Tony Khan's chance. I'm going to watch. I'm going to have you guys along for the ride. Again, that's the reason we're not going to stream it is because I want my keen, undivided attention on it. But it is still going to be a live review with no edits, completely as is. I might cut out commercials. That might be it to save you guys some time. But that would be it. Nothing is going to be edited. There's going to be moments where it's silence. I'm not saying a damn thing. I'm trying to take in what commentary is saying. I'm trying to rate how commentary is even doing. So feel free to fast forward some of this, go backwards, flip around a little bit because it's going to be long. It's going to be the entire 2 hours of Dynamite. Again, I might cut out some commercials, but this is going to be as is. There's no other uncensored, unedited, straight out Dynamite on the airwaves, BC watching, and you guys are going to see my live reaction and my live thoughts, my review of this as it's happening. We've never done anything like this at least for AEW standards anyway, for their weekly Dynamite flagship. So I'm looking forward to it. I really hope that it's going to be good, because a better AEW, a successful AEW, will just make WWE more specifically that much better. But really, every promotion in totality. So if you're wishing for AEW to fail, then that's just like wishing for pro wrestling to fail. I don't understand that. I'm hoping they pull through. I haven't seen this product in totality in a long time. I don't know what to expect. I really don't have any expectations. I just know what everybody is claiming, that this is a bad show and a bad product. Is that true? We're going to find out. Again, we're under a half an hour away now from AEW hitting the airwaves with Dynamite. I'm going to go get a lot of coffee ready through the magic of the YouTube machine. All I got to do is snap my fingers and Dynamite is about to start. So we ain't got to wait a half an hour. So let's tap into that magic now. I'm going to go get coffee. You guys won't know any of that. I'm going to snap and we're going to get started with Dynamite. The entire 2 hours live. Is the show as bad as everybody claims it is? Or is tonight's show the one show where they broke the mold and they're on the right trajectory? Here we go. Dynamite 11/20/24. All right, guys, I told you it was through the magic of YouTube, man. A fresh coffee. AEW Dynamite just went live. We're doing a video package right now, recapping a lot of Mox and Orange Cassidy. That's a matchup tonight. Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta of BCC. And Claudio will be taking on Darby Allin. And then there's a big 8-man tag, I believe. Don Callis and his crew versus Ospreay and his crew. What is all this? This is a wild video package. This can't be all from last week, right? Does AEW Dynamite have pyro, guys? Let's see. That's something Hunter has done away with for most of his shows. The start of the shows, no more pyro. The theme music to get us into WWE SmackDown or Raw is just, it's music to put you to sleep. Or you want to do some extracurricular activities, smoke a little something, get chill, You want to relax to the music that starts Raw and SmackDown. It doesn't get you pumped up. Doesn't get you ready for a wrestling show. Let's see, Dynamite. I don't think we're going to get pyro. Justin Roberts has that big smile on his face like he always has. And I think it's Excalibur just welcome us to Reading, Pennsylvania. So you can tell what I mean with no pyro and no big theme song to get us going. The crowd is just like golf clapping. That's what I mean, guys. It's a huge problem in pro wrestling today. You want to electrify your audience before a wrestler even steps through the curtain. It's a it's a simplistic critique, but it'll move mountains, man, in show presentation and how it'll help the show evolve. But man, you really want to get the crowd going early, man, because then it tells everybody at home, like, that's the place to be. Put down that remote control for the next couple hours. I think we're actually going to start with that 8-man tag that I was telling you guys about. We'll see who's involved. I know it's Don Callis and his crew. I believe Ospreay, Ricochet is the first one out. We'll see who else is on this team. All right, I still like the staging setup. It's as I remembered. Maybe it's tweaked a little bit. Do they still do the good? Powerhouse Hobbs is out now. They still do the good guys, bad guys in AEW, like the two separate tunnels. I'm guessing that's why there's still two, correct? So Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricochet. Yeah, I just wish these companies would realize the start of the shows are so damn important, man. You want to just you get a hook, right? Something is happening in the parking lot, on the roof, in the boiler room. Somebody's at the bar waiting for somebody. But you start off with a hot storyline. Then you go to your intro music. and your whole opening seg, and you just get everybody pumped up. You go into the arena with that electrifying music. Pyro is blasting off. Everybody feels like they're at a party. And now the show's rocking, right? You got a good story that's already popping off. It's already a party atmosphere. But just like a lot of WWE shows, we just started with, this one is Excalibur just saying, welcome everybody to Reading, Pennsylvania and Dynamite. And now and Ricochet starts the show. Well, Ricochet starting Monday Night Raw didn't really get BC excited. So I don't know how many people are going to really be like, Ricochet! Ma, Dad, it's Ricochet! Ospreay's out as well. And who's that? Who's the other? Who's this? Nick Davis? Is that his name? What is this guy? Look at this guy. You don't know if he's a pro wrestler or is he working at the local Home Depot? His little mustache from 1983. Not Danny Davis. That used to be an old referee. Here comes Don Callis' crew. There's Fletcher, Archer, Brian Cage with a full beard. All right. And Tashetta. What did MJF call him? Take a shitta? Take a shitta. Tashetta. And now all the faces are jumping the heels in the aisleway. So here we go, guys. And again, the reason I ain't doing this in streaming format, live with the live chat, all of you guys rocking off with BC, is because it takes too much of my attention. You guys are always rocking in the chat, man. It's always a lot of fun. And you got all the member chats and all the super chats, and you guys are just popping off. And I always got to make sure the audio is up to par, video, so there's a lot of tweaking during the live stream. So I couldn't do that tonight. I need to find out tonight if AEW is as bad as everybody is saying. Or is it over-exaggerated? It's actually a good show, or at least decent. It just has a lot of room that it needs improvement. So I got to find that out, and it needs my undivided attention. So again, I appreciate you guys understanding that. But it's still, you're going to get it as live as can be. No edits. It's just BC's thoughts. Right now, it's a full throttle circus. If you follow this channel, you know how I feel about these schmazes. Anything more than a traditional tag team, even a 6-man tag, especially an 8-man, and forget about a 10-man. But anything more than a traditional 2-on-2, I feel it's a circus. You know, it's just, you can't really get into it. You know, the crowd in attendance can ooh and ah, right? It's like they're the cats and the wrestlers are the cat toys, and they're just following them like ping pong balls. But you're not remembering any of it. It's not really, it's psychologically not thrilling because everybody is just, you don't have time to digest anything. Nobody is just selling moves. You always got to get up and set up for the next guy. Because it's a schmaz. There's too many people in one match. For instance, 8 dudes are in this match. And a lot of them do a lot of cool moves, so you know they got to set up. Mark Davis, by the way. I think I said Nick Davis earlier. My bad. Mark Davis. Ricochet is doing flippity-doo-dahs now. I'm probably go to a commercial soon, I'm guessing, after one of these dives. Now, like, Cage went in real quick. Cage got out. Ospreay's now on the apron. I mean, there's no way that I can... Like, even if we were doing a stream right now, guys, there's no way that I can possibly... Like translate this to you guys, man. Like, call this, because it's just, there's too much going on, and you don't know where to... BC, isn't that a good thing, man? There's action all over the place. No, not in pro wrestling, man. You want to digest that. You want it to settle so that you can really comprehend it and get into what you're viewing. Maybe there's a good storyline. But with 8 dudes, come on, man. I don't know how this is making anybody need to see Fletcher versus Ospreay. Ospreay sent into the steel steps. Heels right now have a heavy advantage. Ospreay's ran into the steel steps. Powerhouse Hobbs has his leg like trapped in the steel steps. So Ricochet's being pounded out by Lance Archer. There's like a ring crew member with a headset on and everything. He's trying to help Powerhouse Hobbs out of the steel steps his leg was trapped in, and now he's helping Powerhouse Hobbs up the aisleway. Powerhouse is injured with his leg, storyline-wise. So, there you go. Powerhouse Hobbs is... So now it's basically a handicap 4-on-3 matchup. I'm guessing Powerhouse will come out later. Clear house. Right? He'll save the day later, but... For now, the big storyline in this match is Powerhouse Hobbs is out, and it is currently a heel's advantage. Ospreay goes to do a springboard, but instead gets caught by Lance Archer. Archer says, "Sit down, dude." Ricochet looks like he wants to go to the top rope and do some flippity-doo-dahs. There he goes, a flying Superman. Nope. He gets caught too by Lance Archer. Lance Archer just chokeslams Ricochet over the top rope onto... Davis and Ospreay. And this looks like a good time to go to commercial if they want to, right? You had Ricochet fly over. The heels are like looking at the hard cam and all the cameras, and they're talking trash. Sure enough, BC was right. I watch enough wrestling. Just because I'm not able to catch a lot of AEW, I catch enough to know how generic their commercial breaks are. Now, I'm going to stick with this one because it is picture-in-picture. So, you know what? If they're going to stay live in any aspect, BC is going to... I'm going to stay live as well and record this. So, while they are in commercial, heels have the advantage right now. They're literally just like in the ring. Tasheta is just pounding down on Ricochet. And it is a traditional, by the way. 4-on-4. Again, now it's 4-on-3. But it's traditional. The whole first 10 minutes, guys, it was a circus, though. There was no order. Everybody was just wrestling or fighting each other everywhere. And now, all of a sudden, once we went to commercial, now everybody is in their corners. It's like, what was the AEW referees have no order whatsoever. That's one of AEW's biggest faults. To this day, BC is watching this and they haven't corrected anything from 5 years ago. The referees in AEW are some of the worst ever that I've ever seen, and I've seen many decades of pro wrestling. But the heels do have the advantage right now. So why that is happening, I do have to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out, big shout out to Q Machiavelli in my last upload. A super thanks super chat. And let me get my full playback while we're in. I don't have to worry about AEW commentary, so let me get my full playback. Here you go. Check. There you go. So Q Machiavelli, a super thanks super chat in yesterday's upload, or 2 days ago, I should say. From the recording of this, it was yesterday, and it was the big upload on Is AEW Truly That Bad? And talking about Eric Bischoff and how he called it the worst pro wrestling show he's ever seen. So that was a really good 40-plus minute upload. Q Machiavelli chucked a coffee at the channel in the chat afterwards, in the comments. I appreciate that coffee, Q Machiavelli, and you are absolutely right. 2 hours of WWE Raw we were hoping was going to be better than 3. That was, it's pretty... It's more than... Well, what's the word that it's... Why would you not think that, right? It's pretty... what's the... I'll stay here all freaking night until I come up with the word. It is more than reasonable. That's not the word I wanted, but I was really stumped on the word that I want, so I'm going to use reasonable. It's more than reasonable to believe that 2 hours of Raw will be better than 3, especially because Hunter Hearst Helmsley said the third hour really stumped him. Like, he admitted he cannot do a 3-hour Raw. But the 2-hour Raws are almost just as bad and sometimes worse than the 3 hours. So Q Machiavelli, you're not the only one thinking that way, man. Appreciate the coffee. Let me give you a proper salute. Oh, we're back from commercial, guys. Heels are still trampling the faces, and it's still Tasheta kind of not only beating up, but talking trash to Ricochet. Q Machiavelli, appreciate the coffee, big time. So this one is on cue, keeping BC amplified for this review, guys. So you guys can thank Q Machiavelli. And real quick, too, the heels are still taking on just beating the heck out of the faces. Ricochet getting plummeted. That upload that we put up a couple days ago talking about what Bischoff said, and AEW is the worst show that he's seen in pro wrestling history. It's the worst television show, period. It's garbage. I mean, Bischoff went off, and it really sparked this discussion even heavier in the community than it already was. I can speak. More coffee, BC. So that's what inspired that whole upload a couple days ago. And you guys in the comments, in the discussion, in the conversations we were having, it was awesome, man. And I was like, you know what? This is obviously bigger than even I thought it was. So that's what really made me want to do this tonight. Make sure that I watch a whole Dynamite. And see for myself if it truly is that bad. So thank you for everybody that participated in that upload 2 days ago. Because that was one of the better discussions we've had in a long time. One of the better discussions you'll see in this community. We had it on this channel in that upload. Man, the heels are still working on the faces, but this time it is Ospreay. No, now Ospreay and Davis are now gaining the upper hand. It's a double team on Tasheta. So the faces are finally in control. All they need to do is Das Boot Ricochet. And now Ospreay is taking control. Ospreay is trying to get the crowd to golf clap. They are, some of them. Other than that, that's what I mean. You have 8 dudes, right? Because the whole theory behind this is there's going to be so much action. The fans in attendance are going to be rocking out. But if you guys see this right now, at this juncture in the match, 16 minutes into AEW Dynamite, just in case you guys need a little bit of wayfinding, if you're to go back for yourselves, 16 minutes into the show, Ospreay just tried to get everyone to clap. Some people did, and then they quickly stopped. And everybody is just watching as if they're watching some golf or some tennis or some pickleball. Maybe that's more exciting. I don't know. But that's what I mean. 8 dudes is not going to generate any real buzz if there's no reason to create the buzz, to be excited about it, to be intrigued by any of this. You just have 8 dudes out there doing a bunch of stuff. You can have this same effect with way less people. 2 dudes with a really good story behind it. So that's the big issue, guys, that I have so far with this. Because I can't tell you. And again, this is coming from somebody who, I don't watch this product every single Wednesday night. I'm sure those that do will say, well, BC, if you knew all the little intricacies, BC, if you knew all that, here comes Powerhouse Hobbs hobbling Hobbs down the aisleway. I told you guys he was going to come back down. That was just storyline purposes. But now he's taking out the heels one by one with basically one leg. But, you guys will say, BC, there's all these little stories that I'm sure if you watched every week, you would be more into it. I'm well aware, even though I don't watch Dynamite every week, I'm pretty much aware of all of the little side feuds and main feuds on the entire show from top to bottom, actually. I'm pretty aware of most of them. I'll get things like Nick Davis, Mark Davis, things like that. Yeah, it's Mark Davis isn't on my top 100 wrestlers that I care about. But, you could say, well, BC, if you watched every week, you'd be more. But that's the point. Not everyone does. In fact, their average is 6 to 650, top 650,000 viewers. That's the point. Right now, they need people to stop by and put the remote down and watch. They need people like BC to go, hey, man, you love pro wrestling. You're giving us a chance. I hope you tune in every week, BC. Well, allow me to do that. Captivate me. We're 18 minutes into the show. I'm not captivated. I'm just like everybody in attendance. And they're live, by the way, sitting on their asses. Powerhouse Hobbs just came back. Powerhouse is taking everybody out with one leg. You would think that would electrify an entire arena. Guys, 19 minutes now into the show. Everybody is sitting down on their thumbs. Powerhouse looks around to get everybody juiced up. And everybody's like, yeah. This is what's happening, guys. I'm not making any of this up. This is why I wanted to watch live. And it It does suck that we couldn't do this in a live stream, because then you guys can see in real time what I'm talking about. But again, then I would be focusing more on the chat, making sure audio and video is good. My attention would just be taken away from it. So then you wouldn't be getting as good of a critique like you're getting right now. So it's a double-edged sword. But this is what I mean. You know, you're trying to get some casuals or some lapsed fans back, or just fans in general to stop by and stay here. 19 minutes into the show, the live crowd is like, eh. It's just 8 dudes. You can start your show better. You have to. You have to start with a massive storyline hook and a massive angle that takes place. Not just an 8-man tag so 8 dudes can do moves. That's a harsh critique, but guys, it's the truth. That's why you stop by this channel. We're not just going to watch some wrestling matches and go, whoa, what a wrestling match. Can't wait to see what Meltzer, how many stars he gives it. Breaking stuff over here. You guys are missing nothing, by the way, and as far as my calling of this match. I mean, Powerhouse is clearing everybody. The faces have full control. Ospreay is calling in Fletcher. I keep having to go, who is that? I'm not used to the shaved head. I keep going, who is he calling in here? Looks like somebody that would be tagging up with Ludwig Kaiser over in the E. Ooh, that was a stiff kick to the side of the face. Fletcher did come in, though. We just had like 5 powerbomb reversals, guys. No lie. And it just ended in super kicks and a standing Spanish fly, middle of the ring, not on the ropes. Ospreay once again playing to the crowd. This time the crowd at least got an arm up this time. A lot of arms went up that time. Fletcher super kicks Ospreay. Suicide dive to the outside. So the action is picked up. Teixeira now takes that knee pad, puts it down, puts the knee to the face of Davis. 1, Davis 2, Davis 3. Heels win. Don Callis and the boys pick up a W 22 minutes into this show. Most people in the crowd are sitting down. The first 3 to 4 rows are standing up, and they're just putting some thumbs down. But if you guys look like deeper up, everybody's just sitting. So it's the ones that they know they're on the hard cam. Maybe they were told by some production, you know, you guys are going to be on TV. Make sure you're hopped up, because everybody else is sitting down. The heels take the W. And again, I don't know, 22 minutes of this 2-hour show. And that is supposed to get you into Fletcher and Ospreay. I don't see how that's the best that Tony Khan can do. Now, that's not enough for BC to say this is a worst show ever or this is such a bad show. I'm just saying 22 minutes to start the show, that is not how you do it. Not if BC has the creative pen. We got a Mox backstage promo right now with Wheeler, Shafir, Claudio, I believe, if they pan out. Wheeler looking like an absolute truck maniac. Love it. Need more of that Wheeler, Utah, man. Shafir, too. I love the looks in this group. Look at Claudio yelling. I don't think Claudio yelled in 7 years with WWE. Mox is even taken back watching Claudio yell. Look at Wheeler and Shafir. All right. Love the promo. Darby now cutting a promo. Walking up the steps like the loading dock, it looks like, with his skateboard. They're setting up that Claudio Darby match for later in the night. So a couple of good promos right there. I mean, you could have started the show off with those two, and that would have been better than just going into an 8-man tag to try to sell Fletcher and Ospreay with 6 other dudes tied to the hip. Anyway, guys, so that is the first 24 minutes of this show. An 8-man tag. The heels take the W. Don Callis' group. Again, the big matchup they're trying to sell you is Fletcher and Ospreay. If that did it for you, cool. I don't know what to tell you. You know, if you are a casual or a lapsed fan, or you just decided to give AEW another chance tonight, I don't know if that first 20 some odd minutes did anything for you. The 2 promos that lasted 1 minute in totality with Darby and BCC, that was more entertaining than the first 20 some odd minutes of wrestling in that 8-man tag. I mean, that may sound harsh. That's as honest as I can be. This is a television show. It's a pro wrestling television show. You have to captivate everybody. We just went to a commercial break. I said I was going to cut some of these out, but and I may. Do I have anything else? This is a perfect time while they're in commercial break to say anything else, any other critiques that I have, anything else I got to get off my chest before they start the next segment. I guess that's it. I mean, by the time we come back, you're looking at about 8:27 p.m. Eastern time. A half an hour of this show, guys. There's only 4 halves. Some weeks, I guess there's an overrun, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe. But for all intents and purposes, there's 4 halves. 1 half already done. And if somebody goes, damn, what did I miss on Dynamite last night? What are you going to tell them? Oh, man, Mox's group had a backstage promo. Darby had a backstage promo. There was an 8-man tag, man. You got to see Teixeira get the W. Teixeira put the knee into Davis's face. The ref counted 1, 2, 3. It was wild, man. And Fletcher and Ospreay were wrestling in the match. And Hobbs, he hobbled on one leg to the back, and then he hobbled back with one leg. And then he got beat. But Hobbs, man, he looked like a warrior. I don't know. What do you... And I keep that same energy. Maybe you're new to the channel. I keep that same energy with the E. Trust me when I say that. For years, I've been keeping that same energy with the E. They start their show so lame, so lazy, so redundant, so boring. And then you take pyro out of it. And then you put in a lame ass, such a song, a theme song that doesn't connect with pro wrestling. It doesn't get you energized. And then you just start with weird things like an 8-man tag. And then you wonder why ratings are in the tank or people are not as enthused with pro wrestling. It starts with the start. How's that? It starts with the start. Clearly, we're staying alive. There's no reason to cut this. BC is fully amplified. I've had about 9 coffees already today. The 10th one is really good. It's a Dunkin' double-double. And I have no reason to cut right now. All right, we're getting some weird... What is this? Hallmark? Christmas is around the corner. TBS is doing their whole... What was it? 24 hours of Elf. What does that even mean? 24... Oh, they're just going to replay the movie Elf nonstop? They used to do that to the Christmas Story. So, yeah, no, I'm not thrilled about that first half an hour, guys. This is not helping the case that AEW is not a bad show. Again, I didn't see enough to say it's bad, but this is not enough to say it's good. Here we go. A car's pulling up in the parking lot with Renee Paquette. This is what I love. Why didn't you start like this? It's fun. It's intriguing. It's suspenseful. Renee is going up to this white... What is that? It's a SUV of some sort, like a Suburban, I believe. Oh, it's the Hurt Syndicate. MVP saying Bobby Lashley will be in action tonight. Forgot to even mention that. Full Gear. This is the go-home show to Full Gear this weekend, guys. Oh, Swerve! Swerve just took out the leg of Bobby Lashley. MVP trying to chase him off with a cane. Oh, to the head? He might have got him in the dome piece. And now they cut to the ring where Adam Cole Bebe is about to make his entrance. Guys, something that simplistic. Boom. That's how you start the show. That's it. Is it the most epic way? Is it the most creative? No. But it's still, it gets everybody thinking from the jump, okay, this is a television show and it's a damn good one and I'm going to watch it. Anything can happen, right? You have this white Suburban show up. Who's in it? Who? Hurt Syndicate gets out. MVP is delivering an announcement. All of a sudden, Swerve attacks out of nowhere. MVP's chasing him off. That's simplistic. That's how you start the show. Boom. You let everybody know, even if it's subconsciously, that you're going to get a wrestling show tonight that is going to check off every box, including a lot of surprises and a lot of suspense. But they don't do that, and they stick it 30 minutes into the show. All right, we'll see what Adam Cole Bebe is going to do here. Adam Cole. Good response for Adam Cole. Very good response, actually. I would say best response of the night so far. That's including an Ospreay and a Ricochet and a Powerhouse. I think he's going to grab the mic, so let me try to make out what he's saying here. Story time with Adam Cole. That's getting a little old too, man. The clips that I have seen, story time is never that great. A lot of fans are saying that they're not into this storyline because it doesn't make sense. A lot of people think there's so many kind of holes in this whole story. And Adam Cole is trying to make sense of it for fans. And when you have to explain your story so much, there's probably problems with it. But MJF had to be a heel. I mean, MJF is a natural born heel. There's no way MJF can sustain himself as a face. It's not him. So Cole was talking about MJF, but instead he's getting Kyle O'Reilly to the ring with a microphone. Again, this is ballsy. You know fans are turning on your product. You know your ratings are in the tank. It was an odd first half an hour. In your second half an hour is going to have Kyle O'Reilly, all 5'9", $165 of them. Slight exaggeration. Much respect to the dude, but the roster that he has, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole going at it on the microphone. How is that the best you can produce? Everybody is sitting down right now, silent. Kyle O'Reilly, a sincere request to Adam Cole. This has to end with MJF. O'Reilly's pissed because Adam Cole's friends, including himself, are always fighting his battles for him, while basically he's always injured nonstop. Look at this golf clap. I mean, it's a very sincere thing. You're a good friend. You're an elite pro wrestler, and I don't want to see you get hurt. You know, Kyle O'Reilly is playing such a meek, good friend right now, but he's getting a golf clap from the crowd. And now he's walking away. Adam Cole dropped his microphone. He's watching Kyle O'Reilly go up the aisleway. Adam Cole is conflicted that his friend is kind of upset. The whole crowd is confused. Like, that can't be it, right? And that was it. That was the segment. And then we just went to Orange Cassidy backstage. Cassidy is telling Wheeler Yuta that he's going to show everybody what he's going to do this weekend to Mox. He's going to do to Wheeler Yuta as a stepping stone, basically. Briscoe just shows up telling Orange he's got his back. Cassidy says he don't need it. Always good to see them boys up in the house. What's Cassie saying? Cassie really is demanding that he does not want their help. I've never seen Orange Cassidy like that sincere, right? Five of you and one me, he says. Go and do what you're going to do. I don't believe that, though. I'm sure Briscoe and the boys will help him out. So, okay, 35 minutes now into this show. 35 minutes, guys. I don't know what that Adam Cole, the booking of him, the aura, the prestige of Adam Cole is a shell of what it once was in NXT Black and Gold. He was on top of the wrestling world, or at least one of. And for his size, that's telling you something. But injuries and horrible booking and just bad situations, Adam Cole is so damn irrelevant. He had the best pop of the night so far, believe it or not. And then once he starts talking, it goes off the rails. I don't know what that was with Kyle O'Reilly. Statlander just came to the ring, guys. She's going to take on Sheeta. Now, Stat has a matchup at Full Gear this weekend with Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. So this is a big tune-up match for the Stat. And Sheeta is no stepping stone opponent. Sheeta's badass. And at a time where this company needed somebody to carry that women's division, Sheeta was doing that. So she gets overlooked a lot, but Sheeta deserves a ton of respect. And from BC and this channel, she absolutely gets it. So it looks like we're going to get Statlander and Sheeta next. Bell rings, 8:37 p.m. Eastern Time. In case you guys somehow watching this as well, get your wayfinding. Everybody is literally sitting on their thumbs, ready to take a nap. This is so sad, man. This is not what when you know people are not feeling your product, whether it's justified what they're saying or not. You have to bring your product alive. I'm not even against the Stat Sheeta match. It's just the placement and everything you had beforehand makes everybody not care. If you guys are listening into this, watching this right now, the next day, and you didn't watch Dynamite, okay, take my word for it when I say everybody is sitting on their thumbs like half dozing off. And it's not even these two ladies' fault that this match just started. But this is just so odd this is 2 hours on prime time, man. There's nothing that would make a casual fan go, dude, I'm coming back next week. Now, we still have over an hour left. A couple of big matches still to go. Some good big storytelling hopefully still to come. Nice sweep there by Stat. Stat with a standing moonsault. 1, 2. That's going to be a kick out. That was a poor kick. I don't know what that was by Sheeta. I don't know what that was. Stat sends Sheeta into the turnbuckle. Sheeta comes back with a Hurricanrana, but it gets turned into a cartwheel by Statlander. Got to remind that too. Saturday night is the pay-per-view. Full Gear. I forget. Yeah, this is the go-home show too, guys. This is a very important show. You know, they're hoping that because it's the go-home show, they'll pull at least 725,000 in the ratings. But, I mean, you don't even... Getting to 650, 675 is hard enough. Stat sends Sheeta back first into the turnbuckle, but Sheeta stays with this little double wrist choke on the top turnbuckle. Really nice. Yanking back, so... Sheeta's or Statlander's basically being choked out by her own arms, and then a missile drop kick to boot. So Sheeta on top right now. Sheeta's trying to get the crowd jacked up. Nobody's even caring. It's so sad. I see two people. Can't even just blame these ladies, man. The first 30 some odd minutes took them out. That Adam Cole, nice boot on the outside from Sheeta to the dome piece of Statlander. We might be taking a commercial here, actually. Maybe picture in picture. I'm usually good at calling these things because wrestling is so generically redundant. Sure enough, I was right. We're in a side-by-side right now, picture in picture commercial break. I think I'm going to stay live for now, guys, too, so I'm not going to cut this one out either. If they're going to stay live, I'll stay live. But, what was I saying? Shit, what was I saying? Statlander. Can't blame these ladies. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. The Adam Cole promo, middle of the ring on the microphone. Once again, it just took everybody out, man. Like, O'Reilly came out and put everybody to sleep. I mean, it works better than NyQuil. Just put Kyle O'Reilly on the microphone. That's not even shade. It's just like, if you know people are against your product right now, they're looking for anything to get their interest back into AEW. Kyle O'Reilly coming out and putting people to sleep on the microphone, talking about how he's such good friends with Adam Cole, but he wants to stay friends and he wants to make sure Cole doesn't get hurt. And then he walks away, and Cole drops the mic confused, and the only person more confused, the only people more confused than Adam Cole, was everybody in that crowd and anybody who happens to be watching, the 600 and some odd thousand fans that are actually watching, BC included. It's frustrated. If you're new to the channel, BC is a very creative dude. You know, I look at writing a pro wrestling show, and it should be fun. You should be excited to write these shows. You should be thinking, if I'm a viewer, man, what would just captivate me from top to bottom, beginning to end, start to finish? And even WWE, man, I'm not throwing them a mulligan. You know, all these primetime wrestling shows, doesn't even matter the company. It's like they're producing the most lamest, most average, most mid-AF type of television imaginable. It's like they're going out of their way to make sure they're not entertaining. 42 minutes into this, we're in a commercial. Sheeta versus Statlander. It's kind of back and forth right now, picture-in-picture commercial. But 43 minutes into this show, and BC is not happy that I'm spending my prime time this way. I'm not. I'm glad I get to upload this and record this for you guys as an upload in the Amped Up show tomorrow. By the time you guys are checking this out now. So, you know, that's cool that I can do that. But, I mean... You know, I'm really giving AEW a chance tonight. They need to come through. This is not it. I would not go out of my way to watch this every Wednesday. They just booted each other in the dome piece. They're both knocked out. AEW referees, man, they're so bad. They're so animated. You're supposed to be in there, but not really take away from the action. You kind of be seen, but not be seen. They're so animated, man. They like take away from the action. Little Bryce, he's bouncing around the ring. You got this Aubrey, Andy, whatever her name is. Referee Jess from the E would run circles around all of them. We're back from picture in picture, guys. Statlander throws an elbow into the corner where Sheeta is, and then a foot to the face Stat now is about to go for a little suplex. Nope, 2 2/10. Sheeta kicks out. And see what I mean? And the referee, Andy Edwards, Amanda Edwards, whatever her name is, man, she did right. She counts 2 2/10. Sheeta was kicked out way in advance, not even close to a 3, and she just stays there like this, frozen, like, oh God, it was this close. No, it was that close. Now stop being frozen, man. You're too animated. Now the show's starting to perturb me. This is when you know. When the show is starting to perturb me, you know it's not good. I'm not where Bischoff is right now. I'm not saying this is the worst show I've ever witnessed, all right? I just put up with 10 years of Vince McMahon's Monday Night Raw. The last 10 years of McMahon. Can't say that Hunter's any better, actually. In some areas, he's better. In other areas, he's even more confusing, his booking. Because he doesn't want to follow the heels versus face format. And then he's got everyone shaking hands. Now, this isn't worth calling the action for you guys right now. It's just back and forth, move for move. Sheeta now has a pinfall over Statlander. Statlander kicks out once again. Andy Edwards is just like frozen. Like, what are you doing, man? Drop your hand. Get up. Stop taking the focus from these ladies. Every time she counts, she's frozen. Price is animated to a nauseating degree. Andy Edwards is nauseating to a whole nother degree. And there's a couple other ones, too. I just can't do them. All my critiques aside, that might not be in the most positive ways. This is not a bad match, guys. Statlander just drove Sheeta's dome piece. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be it. Stat wins the match. This wasn't a bad match. It's just the 30 some odd minutes beforehand really took people out of it. And because the live crowd is out of it, we're kind of feeling like we're also watching a tennis match. The pitcher-in-pitcher break does take you out a little bit as well, but you knew a break was going to happen. The animation from the referee, no reason to care about this, right? This is supposed to set up Mercedes versus Stat. Now Mercedes better show up right now, and they better do something that's fun to get us interested in this matchup for Saturday night. But, I mean, if this is supposed to get us excited for... what is this, mutual... No way. Stat just shook the hand of Sheeta. Mutual respect. I can't stand. We see so much shaking hands now, mostly in the E. And now for Tony Khan, here it is, man. Sheeta gets up and shakes the hand of Statlander. So, and now there's Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné, the CEO, no longer the boss. Now, are they going to do something fun? Are they going to do something unique, something creative, man, that we're going to be talking about tomorrow? Did you see what happened on Dynamite? Yeah, they're facing each other this Saturday, title on the line. Or are we just going to do some words and go to a break or go backstage, right? This is Tony Khan's moment. Do something fun and creative, or do the same old, and people will forget about it in 3 minutes. At least Mercedes is coming to the ring. That's a start. I love that. I love when she plays the brat, Mercedes. She's talking about holding that TBS championship longer than Stat. And she's yelling too, like she's unhinged, yelling at the crowd, yelling at Stat. I will never lose this. Mercedes isn't known to be great on the microphone, and I love Mercedes on this channel. This channel was based on Sasha Banks' Bray Wyatt from back in the day, a few years ago. But I'll be the first to admit Mercedes was never known to be big on the microphone. A lot of people say that's her big weakness. But that was actually pretty good. I don't understand. Camille gets in the middle with her one arm. She gets beat up by Stat and Sheeta, and she almost looks like she doesn't even know how to wrestle or take a move. That was weird by Camille. Mercedes takes out Sheeta and then jumps on the back of Stat. And then Stat just dropped Mercedes on her dome piece. And Stat holds up the TBS championship. All right. I don't know. It's listen, 50 minutes into the show, that's the best moment of the night so far. So whatever, man. I'm not surprised that it has to do with Mercedes. She gets a lot of hate and a lot of people like rip her segments or whatever. But every time Mercedes is out there, I'm pretty much captivated. So that was not amazing or epic or next level at all. But, to this point, it's the best moment. Oh, back in the corridors, you have Hurt Syndicate beating up some dude that looked like it was Swerve because he was wearing the same jacket that Swerve had on when he took out Bobby in the parking lot. So they thought it was Swerve and they just beat him up, but it was not Swerve. So they're hot on the trail of Swerve. See, that's what I mean. And we're in commercial break right now, 51 minutes into the show. But that's what I mean, guys. If you started the show with that parking lot segment, right? So the Suburban rolls in, Paquette's like, who is this? Hurt Syndicate gets out, Swerve takes him out, MVP is in hot pursuit. Lashley, Benjamin will join him as the night goes on. And every segment or two segments, you keep going back to them looking for Swerve. And in the final segment of the night, you have that culminating moment of that story. And if done correctly, it'll kickstart you to Full Gear and beyond, or however long you want this story going. But that's what I mean. It's called a cliffhanger. And if done correctly, you start the show with it, you go throughout the entire show adding on to it elements, and you keep building that suspense. And in the final segment of the night, boom, they come across Swerve. And then you have something uber creative and fun planned. It's not that hard, guys. That's what pro wrestling used to be back in the day, and they used to do this. And that's what made pro wrestling shows so fun. They were beating football. Football. Today, they say nothing could ever beat Monday Night Football, BC. Well, yeah, you must have not have been around back in the day because absolutely you could beat football. You just had to put on a better product. So, it's that was good to see. Backstage, you have Hurt Syndicate trying to look for Swerve. I know, man. You're hearing this the next day and you're like, well, BC, that doesn't sound that great. It's not. But, when the first hour is almost coming to a conclusion, right? 53 minutes into the show, we're in a commercial. By the time we get back, it'll be about 55 minutes. So we're about to close out the first hour. I mean, you're kind of grasping at straws here, right? You're trying to find any piece of positivity from this show. An hour is about to be concluded, and I can't tell you anything that captivated me or would make me come back next week. An 8-man tag to start us off. Wow. Tashetta pinned Davis with his mustache. 22 minutes that took. And then Adam Cole came out. And his friend Kyle O'Reilly said, man, I like you, but we're always fighting your battles and we don't want you to get hurt. And I'm just sad. I'm going to walk away now. I don't know why I came out here. And Cole's like, well, I'm done with my promo now. You made us all sad. And the crowd is about to take a nap. And that segment ends. The hell are we supposed to talk about with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly? Are we supposed to lie? Am I supposed to say, wow, this storyline is so fun? BC, you got to look beyond it, man. That's just a setup. What O'Reilly is talking to Cole, man. You got to take it for what it is in the moment. It's going to lead to better, BC. No, you need more now. What else? What else happened? Stat just beat Sheeta, and then they shook hands in mutual respect, and then Mercedes came out. Mercedes got dropped on her dome piece. So, yeah, the only thing I could talk about that's cool is that Hurt Syndicate is trying to find Swerve backstage. That's a television show. We need more of that type of stuff. I'm not surprised that Hurt Syndicate is the best part of the show right now, or Mercedes. It's the same people I've been saying are the stars of the show in the E. They just didn't know how to use Sadie's. Sasha Banks at the time. They didn't know how to use her. They just didn't want to use. Hunter didn't want to use Bob Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin correctly. Or at all. We're back from commercial. BC's got a lot to say. Damn right. I told you I was going to cut some of the commercials possibly. I haven't done that yet. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say because I'm not happy with the show right now, guys. I'm not. You know, when you know that so many of your own fans have turned their back on the product, right? They used to be at a 950 average, 950,000. Now they're barely getting 625, 650. So when you know that, man, you have to not just produce a good show, you have to now consistently produce a great show. I mean, we can't even get good right now, man. Not yet. Bob Lashley is coming down to the ring, though. Maybe this will get good. Bobby Lashley coming to the ring. MVP and Shelton give him some daps. They're going to come to the ring too. Okay, so daps top of the ramp and daps bottom of the ramp. This is a very small venue too. I am hearing that AEW has been canceling a lot of shows and going to different venues, a lot of smaller venues. For optic reasons, right? They're not only not selling out arenas, but now it's even more than half that was used to be empty. Half the arena used to be empty. Now it's even more. It's going toward like 3/4. So they really want to go to these smaller venues. Oh, it's a jobber match, bro. Is that the Cheeseburger? It is. I haven't seen Cheeseburger in a while. Maybe he's on every Wednesday, but again, I'm not able to see every Wednesday. Catch this show. So Cheeseburger and who's this guy? We'll call him dipshit Dugenheimer. So Dugenheimer and Cheeseburger. It's a jobber match. If you follow this channel, I love jobber matches, man. They produce the same result as if you were to put another star in there. The only difference is the other star doesn't have to take an L. So you don't have to be 50-50 booked. And nobody's going to care if Bobby's in there with... You could put him in there with a Wheeler Utah. You could put Bobby Lashley in there with a Will Ospreay. It would not matter because if it's a 3 to 4 minute match anyway, nobody's talking about it the next day. So you might as well put Bobby in there with two jobbers because it's going to produce the result you want. Bobby is the star. Did you see him beat the how you doing out of two dudes at once? They got annihilated. And that's what Bobby's doing right now. That's what jobber matches used to do back in the day. Earthquake would be crushing humans. Yokozuna would be crushing humans. You would go, damn, did you see Yoko kill that dude last night? Sat on his chest. Dude didn't move for 5 minutes. He had to get stretchered out, right? And it wasn't a star. So nobody got 50-50 booked or destroyed or badly booked. Jobber matches. I love these. During my whole little jobber match rant, Bobby is just beating the hell out of these dudes, literally. Cheeseburger is just getting... Cheeseburger just got sent up, and that theme park ride went right down. Cheeseburger is not going to want to ride that again. Dugenheimer just got into the ring trying to throw some bows at Bob Lashley. Bob Lashley is going to laugh at this. Throw one more punch and just run, bro. Take Bray Wyatt's advice. Just run. Clothesline. That did it. Bobby Lashley's pissed. Dugenheimer hits the rope. Lashley, the ropes. Bobby Lashley just goes up. And he just went down on that amusement park ride. Lashley is now setting up. Chugga chugga. This is not the Braun Strowman train. Guggenheimer, don't turn around. Oh boy, I tried to tell you. Spear. Bobby Lashley takes out Guggenheimer. Man, I love jobber matches. It lets people know this is the star. And when you do them correctly, at pay-per-views, you take a dude that's been booked like a star and another dude that's been booked like a star. Both were not 50-50 booked at any time. So they're both superstars. I'll use that term, yes. Then you want to see star versus star. You have to see this pay-per-view match. The Hurt Lock. Bobby Lashley just did this. I don't know if he tapped out or the referee just said, dude, this dude passed out. But Bobby Lashley looks like the megastar that he should have been booked like all the time in the E. Looks like Swerve might be on his way out. Prince Nana. I call him Prince Nana. Prince Nana. Prince Nana is coming out with a steel chair. But then he ran away. Oh, so he lured Shelton Benjamin. So he ran away. Shelton's in hot pursuit, but Swerve came up from behind Bob Lashley and took out Lashley. Swerve now took out MVP. Swerve now take out Benjamin, who just came back to the ring. So I don't know how Swerve has taken out the entire Hurt Syndicate. That's not believable. But somehow he did. And then he just put a foot to the side of the face of Bobby Lashley. Swerve to the top rope. By now, you would think MVP and Benjamin would have been on their feet. They only took a punch. Swerve with that double stomp to the face of Bobby Lashley from the top rope. Where's Benjamin and MVP? Why are they selling a punch this long? This doesn't make any sense. They're Hurt Syndicate, man, and you just got hurt by a punch like that? You talk about selling. Hey, you wanted selling, BC. Maybe he had a... Did he have some brass knuckles, man? Oh, finally they got in the ring and Swerve just jumped out of the ring. Maybe he took him out with the chain. He does have that chain. So maybe he did. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get a replay here. Maybe he took him out with the chain. Or at least one of them with the chain, maybe. That would make sense. Swerve is standing in the crowd like, what? And Hurt Syndicate is like, you mother... Swerve is pointing up at the full gear sign. Not too bad. I've been enjoying everything that I've been seeing with Swerve, and I always enjoy Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate. So I don't think this was bad at all. It's nothing that I would like go back and watch again. It's nothing that I would rave about if I'm talking about this show tomorrow. I'm probably not spending too much time on that, but at least it wasn't bad. I'm trying here, guys. I mean, it's doable. I don't know if that pumped everybody up to see Bobby Lashley and Swerve any more than they already were. Mariah May backstage promo with Renee Paquette. Been loving her promos as of late, by the way. Mariah May has really come into her own. You know, everyone was raving about Toni Storm. Mariah was the unsung hero through it all as well. She was everybody was sleeping on Mariah at first. She became a shining star during it all. Okay, shake 'em, girl. Okay. Now Mariah is just shaking what the Booyaka gods gave her. Her natty night hearts. All right, this is actually a great show no matter what happens from here on out. Now that we saw Mariah shake her booyakas. I'm just kidding. I mean, that was great, though. That's probably the best part of the... Sorry, Mercedes. Sorry, Hurt Syndicate. That is the new best part of the night. 63 minutes into the show. 1 hour, 3 minutes. Mariah May shaking her how you doings. Darby Allin is now headed to the ring. I believe he is taking on Claudio Castagnoli. So I had to do a little cut right there, guys, just for a visual tweak. I had to adjust something visually, so that only took 20, 25 seconds maybe. It just turned into 67 minutes into the show, 1 hour, 7 minutes. So that didn't take a lot of time at all. The match just started, Claudio versus Darby Allin. So I just had to make a minor adjustment. So 67 minutes into the show, Claudio versus Darby just started hour number 2. Hour 1 is totally behind us. If you guys are watching Dynamite, or watched it last night, like BC is right now, and here now it is Thursday. This is going to be uploaded. If you did watch Dynamite last night, the whole first hour is behind us. We're now into Claudio versus Darby. Are you guys, is this your cup of coffee? Because I'm sure there's a lot of fans are like, I hear what you're saying, BC, all the critiques, all the things you wish were being added in. But I like the flow. I like it, the pacing. This is my cup of coffee, BC. More power to you. I'm not even joking. I'm not going to rip you at all. If you like it, that's all that matters. It doesn't make it good, though. I always preach that on this channel, right? Just because we like something or don't like something doesn't make it good or bad. Right? What makes it good or bad is facts, right? Statistics, numbers, metrics, reactions, in totality. All those things together help us determine if something is good or bad, needs to be changed, taken out, added on to. I'll give you an example, by the way, but first of all, Claudio is literally, they were on the outside. Claudio got Darby into a suplex position, walked up the steel steps, still with Darby on his shoulder, got in, and then threw him into the ring. Claudio is the strongest guy in pro wrestling, bro. I know there's bigger dudes and bigger muscles, but Claudio is the strongest dude in wrestling. We just went to commercial break, by the way, but it is a picture-in-picture commercial break, so we're going to stick with the action. BC will stick live. But where I was going with that is just because we like something, don't like something, doesn't make it good or bad. For instance, I'll give you guys a pro wrestling example. I like Jinder Mahal. I just do. But I know most fans do not want to see Jinder Mahal, much less winning a world title like he did just a few years back. Now, if BC sees Jinder Mahal getting airtime and a world title, I'm good. I like that. But I know that is not the best television you should be producing. That's not the best creative. That's not going to make the fans happy. Or buy tickets to the show that's coming up because Jinder Mahal is going to be live. I know that's not the case. So I know that didn't work. So you have to know, like, just because we like something doesn't make it good. Like, if you like this, that's awesome. But I am seeing now an hour and 10 minutes into the show, I am now seeing why a lot of fans bailed and took off. I'm starting to see that. And if those fans that are saying that the AEW product is not good like it once was, if they're getting this every single week, I could see why they're pissed off. So, while we're in commercial, if you like this, much love and respect. Totally your prerogative, and that's more than okay. And thankfully for you, you're getting it, so you're happy. But if you're wondering why the ratings are not coming in by the drove, people aren't coming in by the droves and the ratings aren't skyrocketing and there's not hype and buzz and excitement to the product, BC is trying to help you understand why. You like it, that's great. This is not good. This has to be a lot better than this. It has to be, especially when you know morale is low. And I'm not talking about even in the locker room. Morale with your own fan base. Man, BC is rocking, dude. I really hope you guys, man, for those that are listening in on the entire near 2 hour, whatever this is going to end up being. Again, we slight tweak there. We had to stop, make a quick cut, and maybe there'll be a few more later. Maybe I'll stop for some commercial breaks. But if you guys are listening throughout, I hope you guys are really just understanding that the place that I'm coming from with all these critiques is because I really want this program, this company to thrive. I don't want them just surviving with the WWE. I want them to thrive and be uber successful because then they can put a boot of Hunter Hearst Helmsley and WWE's ass because they need to do a hell of a lot better than what they're doing too because what they're producing is absolute horse trash. We're back from commercial. Claudio and Darby. Fans are just kind of just sitting, just watching on like it's just golf or tennis, man. First couple of rows. Now that they're on the outside, the first row kind of stood up. Well, some people did. No, they're all sitting down. What am I saying? Second row kind of stood up. All right. First row, no. Second row standing up. Especially the guy with the beer. He's having a ball. Look at the strength of Claudio. He just gets him into a bench press position and chucks Darby through the second rope. Amazing strength. Darby is so screwed up. He just rolled out of the other side of the ring, so now Claudio has to come over to that side. And that allowed Darby to kind of hang up Claudio. The banner around the apron, the ring apron, he kind of tripped him up. So he kind of got hung up on that ring apron. And then a missile suicide dive from Darby. A second missile suicide dive from Darby. And that was just like, he just like literally went head first and like totally like somersaulted. That style, man. He's a professional, okay. We're not going to play the role of the parent, Darby's parents, but it's just not needed on a Dynamite, man. Middle of a Dynamite, you're against Claudio. Ease up, use more psychology, sell. You just don't have to run around like a maniac every match. Nobody's going to remember it, dude. Claudio's got Darby up on the top rope in a gut-wrench suplex position. It's just pure strength. It looked like Claudio was going to trip on the top rope while he has Darby on his whole side. He's about to chuck him in there. But even if he is, Claudio is so strong that he still got Darby fully in the air and just chucked him safely. Because Claudio is so good at what he does, but he's just so damn strong. Have I mentioned that yet? Not the biggest muscles, not the biggest dude, but trust me when I say he's the strongest guy in wrestling. I don't like that. See, we're seeing a lot of that, especially in WW, where he just did this to the crowd, right? And that got a little bit of a pop, right? He's going to do the swing. The problem is he's a heel, a bona fide heel. Darby is the face. So don't even get the reaction, man. It's like Braun Breaker trying to ask where the doggies are at in the arena. Why do you care about pandering to the crowd? You're not supposed to be a face. There was a botch just now. I don't know what they're doing either. There was a huge botch where Claudio was supposed to get like a powerbomb position to Darby. Darby turns it into like a sunset flip or something like that, but they kind of fell forward. So then Darby tried to save it by acting like he was doing a chokehold, but Claudio just wanted to do what they were going to do. So I hope that makes sense. So, but I do credit Darby more than Claudio there, right? Claudio should have improvised a little bit. Darby was trying to save it like we meant to do that. Like I tried to get you in this chokehold. Claudio just wanted to no-sell it and just do what he wanted to do, which was the original concept. But I like what Darby did there, actually. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is good if you're Darby just got kicked in the face. Darby's kind of selling on the outside now. Slow it down. This is good. Slow it. Sell. So while he's selling that, Claudio is being yelled at by the ref. I will say that a lot of what I'm witnessing tonight is kind of like what you would see at a house show. You know, you're just seeing some wrestling matches. Good, right? Sheeta versus Stat was good. This matchup is good. The 8-man tag, it's not my cup of coffee, but there was a lot of action. Oh, there you go. A swing on the outside, and Darby just got chucked into the steel steps via the swing. That was a pretty badass spot. So what I'm saying is a lot of what I've seen in the first 78 minutes here, it's about to be going on 9:18 p.m. Eastern Time, hour 18 minutes into the show. A lot of what I'm seeing is kind of like what you would see at a house show, you know, just some good wrestling matches. Well, that's always a plus on a wrestling show, but it still is a television show. And there's so much more that you have to do, man. You have to check off so many boxes to captivate people. And this is why in totality, they're just not doing it. You know, this is several times tonight. I've said, hey, good match. Hey, good match. Decent match. That doesn't equate to a good show, though. So Claudio has Darby up on the commentary table. The referee is just trying to instead of counting them out, he's trying to tell them not to do it. Just count them out then, ref. Oh! So Claudio was up on the commentary table, picks up Darby in a press position, Ultimate Warrior status, chucks Darby like lawn darts this dude from a press slam, chucks him into another table. Darby is knocked out. Referee's trying to check for, at this point, a pulse. That was a pretty badass spot. I'm guessing, the ref has to call the match, obviously, right? That's a DQ on Claudio? Or is the ref just going to keep this match going like nothing? The ref is just going to keep going. He hit the chair, the table, and the barricade. Is anything illegal, or is that all just still legal in AEW? And what about the count out? Because at that point, Claudio and Darby were counted out. They were counted. It should have been a count of 40. Darby should have been accounted out by, it's at least 85 with the Darby right now. And somehow the ref is only on like 6. So this is where a lot of things, when people complain about the referees, the officiating in AEW, this is what I mean. Like, you have to make it make sense. You have to be more believable for us to believe in it. Darby somehow musters himself because he had a count of 90 to get back in the ring, but when he did, he just got clotheslined inside out, and Claudio picks up a W, pinfall status, 1, 2, 3. Darby looking up at the lights. He doesn't see anything though, right? Lights are on, but nobody's home. Darby's knocked out. So a big victory for Claudio. So Darby talks all this trash about what he's gonna do, Full Gear and beyond. But, well, that was more Orange Cassidy, actually. But Darby has a lot of things, but, well, Darby couldn't get past Claudio here. This was straight up Claudio just kicking Darby's ass. There's no real cheatery, no trickery. It wasn't a numbers game. Dude got chucked into a table. That was good, though. That was a good... I have no complaints over that. I really don't. When nothing else really is happening, it just becomes kind of forgettable. But that was actually probably match of the night thus far. Private Party backstage. Cutting an interview with the always beautiful and uber talented Renee Paquette. One of the biggest botches by WWE letting her go. Well, she did want to be with Mox too. And they didn't want to give her more. Kind of like Samantha. I don't know what happened there, but we got a car pulling up here. Where's this at? What's going on here? Yeah, I like this stuff. See that? Get away from the ring for a minute, will you? Oh, it's MJF. Here we go. Finally, man. We got a television show happening. Hour and 21 minutes into this program. MJF just threw money at a bum as he pulled up to this remote location. MJF is doing what MJF does, man. He's just cutting a killer promo, guys. It doesn't have to be in the ring. Remote location, sitting on the front of his car. Damn. Talking about how Roddy Strong's mother shot his father in front of him. But after Saturday, he's going to be wishing that the mother didn't shoot the father, but shot him. What in the world, man? MJF. That's MJF being MJF, bro. Salute. That was pretty. See, things like that, you know, that's MJF doing anything. MJF could be doing an autograph session and flipping off a kid or throwing a championship to the ground and causing all this controversy, right? Actually angering parents. That was rude. I know you're a heel, but that was messed up, right? I mean, that is more entertaining than most of the stuff we see on these shows. So just MJF being on camera, remote down, everybody shut up, dude's about to speak. That was pretty. That was pretty damn good. I'm pretty sure. Not many, especially if you're casual, you're just tuning in. You're probably not going, "Oh, MJF versus Roddy Strong." Have to see that Saturday at Full Gear. I have to pay $40-$50 to see Roddy Strong take on MJF. But that one little, that 2 minutes there with MJF, that 2 minutes, you at least put that into your subconscious, right? That's now in your subconscious. Now when you're looking down that card, you're going, oh, Roddy Strong, MJF. Dude, MJF's promo on Roddy Strong Wednesday. Did you hear what he said? That's what I mean, man. Simplistic. Most times it's just something that is simplistic, but it resonates. So pretty good. Where I got a commercial, guys, right now. What are we? Hour 24 minutes into the show. Shall we stay live? I still got some questions. Is this still? Yeah, I'm trying. I'm nursing it, man. I don't know if I should get another coffee rocking or do I just wait? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if you guys don't mind, it's a full commercial right now. You guys don't got to go in it. Magic of YouTube. I'm going to snap. We're going to be right back. But I'm going to get a fresh coffee if you don't mind. So I'm going to get a fresh coffee. We're going to come right back after this commercial. We'll see what they have planned for the last half an hour of this show. So far, nearly 90 minutes in. Some good stuff, you know, at least decent. And a lot of stuff that's more house showy. But hopefully the last half an hour packs the baddest punch. Baddest in a good way. We'll see. New coffee. I'll snap. We'll be right back. All right, back with a fresh coffee. That took a couple extra minutes more than it should have. But Roddy Strong came to the top of the ramp to cut a promo with Tony Schiavone, a little bit of a response to MJF. And pretty much saying that everything MJF said is everything he heard from elementary school on, so it's nothing new. And yeah, his parents were addicts and this and that, but it's up to him to break the cycle. So I don't know. It was a good hoorah speech by Roddy. And then you had Jack Perry tied up to a chair at a remote location with headlights on him from the scapegoat machine, kind of like the Scooby-Mobile. And Daddy Magic is screaming as Dan Garcia is in the face of Jack Perry trying to get answers. Jack Perry will tell him nothing. Dan Garcia storms off. We don't know where to. That was a pretty cool setup. And now we have a contract signing with Ishii and Chris Jericho. And Jericho just took the contract and he's leaving. And Ishii is in not hot pursuit. They're kind of like jog walking up these stairs. I don't know what's going on. Jericho's hilarious. He keeps looking back to see if Ishii is following him, but he's going real slowly. And Ishii is slowly like following him up all these stairs. Are we going to get a camera following them? Because I love this. Okay, so now we're in the corridors. Jericho is still looking behind him as he walks, and Ishii is in again, I don't know if this is hot pursuit. They're going so slowly. But Ishii is in pursuit. So this is ever since I just went up to get another coffee. This has all been happening, guys. Roddy Strong with a promo. That situation with Garcia and Jack Perry. Jack Perry tied up to this chair at a remote location, parts unknown, where Warrior is from. And now this weird contract signing that started in the back with Renee Paquette with a little table. They went through the corridors, up these stairs, through the lobby, and now somehow they wound up in the ring. There had to have been better ways to get to the ring. I was hoping that was going to go somewhere more fun. I don't know. The front of the arena, and Jericho has like a setup or something. Maybe, Big Cass, Big Bill comes out of nowhere. Jericho says, I would sign this contract, Ishii, but I don't have a pen. Ishii's like, well, luckily for you, I have a whole new pack from Staples. He pulls out a whole pen. Here you go. You can borrow mine, basically, says Ishii. Now, Jericho's learning tree has been heavily criticized as well. One of the biggest criticized parts of this show and why the show was just not as good as it once was, Jericho's learning tree has been getting absolutely trampled on. But he's sticking with it, He's like, I don't care. They like it. They just don't realize it. So he sticks with it. I think he's still at least really funny with this learning tree gimmick. It might not be your favorite, I hear you. So did he sign the contract or not? I think he signed, but either way, Big Bill jumps in the ring and attacks him. So the learning tree, it is a setup anyway. Again, you could have done this much more fun. When you're in the corridors in the lobby and going up you go into the front of the arena. Not the parking lot, the front of the arena, as if you're just a regular paying customer. And that's where a learning tree jump. You could have gotten original creative. I don't see why all that had to lead to just going back to the ring. And sure enough, here comes Briscoe. But the faces are just getting... No, actually, Briscoe just helped out there. All right. This is so average, man. So they promote this big contract signing, and you're telling me that it was just for everybody's crew to come out and brawl? This is what I mean, guys. This is your chance to get uber creative, or this is your chance to be average AF. Anybody trying to tell me this is not average AF? You just don't know. Even if you like it, that's fine. But this ain't it. This is not it. This is what's going to make people, if not turn away, it's not going to make them come back. Ishii just delivered a brain buster to Chris Jericho, and the faces are now celebrating. 31 people are clapping in the crowd. I mean, that's the honest truth, guys. Ishii is not going to bring the people to their feet, and the crowd goes mild, and that's much respect. We understand Ishii. We understand the wars this guy has been in, and wars he'll still be in. Put respect on the dude's name. But we got to be truthful on this channel. It's what we'll always be. Ishii is not making the good. Look at everybody. Everybody is just like, anybody that's not in the first 5 rows is all sitting on their thumbs. Look in the back. If you guys happen to be kind of syncing this up here the next day, it's one of those things, man, and we just went to commercial break. Not a picture-in-picture, a full-blown commercial at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. An hour and 40 minutes into this show. So you guys wonder why, a lot of people say like they watch the highlights the next day or something like that, right? BC ratings are down because you can just watch highlights the next day. Well, that's the sad part, right? The sad part is, and I'm going to stay live for this commercial break, stay recording, because I did take a couple extra minutes on the coffee, more than I would have liked, and I missed the whole Roddy Strong. I still listened to all of it, viewed it for you guys, but not recording. But this is what I mean. everybody is okay with, oh, I mean, that's just what you do today. You just watch the highlights. It's a microwave society. People don't got time to watch the full 2 hours. No, well, that's the problem. You make them take the time, right? The NFL makes you take 3 hours plus to watch all of these games all weekend. From Thursday to so many on Sunday to Monday, sometimes 2 on every Monday. And as we get closer to playoffs, and the playoffs, of course, it'll be on Saturday as well. But you'll watch all of these games 3+ hours a pop. Because you got to. Because it's entertaining. Because it's fun. Because there's so much at stake. And it's so intriguing. You watch a good movie or a good hour-long, right? Those hour-long drama television shows. Sometimes they put 2 of them back to back. So that's 2 hours. And you got to watch it, right? Because your favorite show is your favorite show for a reason. It's captivating, and you got to watch. You can't wait to see it next week. You got to see what the characters do next. What happens to yada yada? What happens to blah, blah, blah? Did you see what happened to blah, blah, blah? Now we got to see if he's even still alive next week. That's right. It's the characters. It's the stories. It's the drama. That's what makes a good television show. That's what pulls viewers in. The fact that you can just watch highlights all the time for these pro wrestling shows, that is the problem. Let me put my playback back in, if you don't mind, now that we're in a commercial break. That is the problem. The fact that you can just easily just watch 2 hours in 4 minutes of highlights. The fact that you can miss it live and you miss nothing. Because what are you going to do when you go to work the next day, or you go to school, or you're running errands and you bump into your buddy and you're talking pro wrestling and you say, did you catch Dynamite? No, what'd I miss? What's your buddy going to say? What'd you miss? Bro, man, Statlander dropped her Mercedes. There was an 8-man tag and Tashetta took a victory. Orange Cassidy was in a match. Darby was in a match. Darby got beat, bro. Claudio beat Darby. Yeah. Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley beat 2 jobbers. That was at least he beat 2 jobbers and not another star. So 50-50, book somebody. So you got to see Bobby, dude. Bobby took these 2 jabronis and he whooped them. Like, what do you... I'm just saying, like, what do you possibly... Becky Lynch. We're back from break, and it's Becky Lynch next to Renee Paquette. I'm just kidding. Who is this? Why do I not know who this is? Who was that? It looked like a bootleg Becky Lynch. I must know who it is. I'm just drawing a blank. I have no idea. Is this Julia Hart? A vignette for Julia Hart? Julia Hart. Man, she is a cutie, huh? She's supposed to be all badass doing freaking, doing some archery and stuff, but she's so beautiful, bro. That's a vicious beauty right now. Well, she's trying to get good at archery. Good for her. I don't know what that was all about, but good to see Julia Hart, I guess. I don't know what the heck that was all about, man. I don't know. Some of this stuff is really odd, guys. I'm trying. I really am trying. There's so much going on. There's so many people on this roster, and I just feel like there's no substance to any of it. You know, they have to just downsize. Quality over quantity. We're already going into the main event, so that's the whole show. Now you're going to go into freshly squeezed orange juice Cassidy versus Wheeler Utah. And this is going to set up the big Mox versus Cassidy match for Full Gear. So no matter what happens in this match, this is the go-home show. This is your big match. This is your big title. This is where you sell it. You put it all on there. Your utmost creativity happens now. And maybe they can salvage what is a very forgettable show and make us remember something. Here comes Mox, the Death Riders. I think I called them BCC a couple of times. My bad earlier. Death Riders. Told you I don't watch every Wednesday, man. That's pretty clear. I was hoping they were going to make it harder on BC to make sure that I watch every Wednesday because it was going to be so good tonight. But, I don't know. It's a weird show. It's not my cup of coffee in terms of something I would have to watch every Wednesday or that I would want to spend 2 hours every Wednesday watching. Guys, I don't know anymore how truthful I can be with you. And that's what I mean when I say when one organization is thriving, everything else does as well. It's like a ripple effect. And when Monday Night Raw is so damn lame and boring and bad, it's like a chore to get through. That's Monday Night Raw, guys. From the conglomerate WWE. Just imagine when you put together a subdued, mundane show like this on a promotion that at this point is nowhere close to the E. It's like if we're talking about Raw being so damn boring and bad, it's almost like this show, this company has its work cut out for them. They got to work double, triple time. And it's like they're just not doing it. Hope that makes sense, man. I told you this is going to be an honest critique of this show, and I was really hoping they were just going to come and hit a grand slam tonight. Listen, there's still 12 minutes left. If they do the overrun, even more than 12 minutes. The main event just started. I just can't tell you that Wheeler, Utah, Orange Cassidy, watching these two dudes right now. I know gone are the days of Stone Cold and Cerebral Assassin Triple H, The Rock and The Undertaker and Warrior and Hogan. And I know those days are gone, but man, just watching two dudes that you could literally walk by in a mall if they had a baseball hat on and just you'd walk right by them. You probably got bigger muscles than them even. I don't know, man. It's just a different day and age. There's so many wrestlers that are just so tiny and so average looking. Just different. I don't know. I'm not bashing, man. Orange Cassidy has really stepped up for this company from day one, and he has earned that spot. And Wheeler Utah, he's getting better and better every time I see the dude. Facial expressions, mannerisms, you name it. So I can't praise them enough. It's just, man, you see them together, and this is your main event for your go-home show to your pay-per-view, and you start to see a lot of issues with just wrestling in general. It's not just an AEW thing. And you see WWE with their wrestling schools and their ID program and trying to get all of the gymnasts and all the college athletes. The problem is they're all average-looking kids. All these wrestlers look like they're off an assembly line from the Amazon Distribution Center. NXT Performance Center is just a distribution center. Everybody's a carbon copy of one another. Nobody has their own identity, their own feel anymore. They all look the same. They're all kids. I guess it's just the fan generation of wrestling, right? I mean, these are all the fans when wrestling was at its peak. These are all the fans now becoming wrestlers. And I think that's the problem. Back in the day, a lot of them were not fans, and that's probably why they were more captivating. You were just getting authentic, just wild personalities. They didn't care about a lot of the things that fans would, which made them more polarizing. Now you're just getting fans. All the fans are now wrestlers. All right, that's a side rant. I'm trying to entertain myself. I mean, this match is people are literally sleeping in the first row. That's hard to do. The first row is usually the most energetic. Even though they're sitting down, they're the most into it, you know. They got the attention locked. But yeah, there's people actually sleeping I'm seeing right now. I think we're about to hit a commercial too, because there was just Wheeler just dropped Orange Cassidy on his dome piece on the ring apron. And sure enough, commercial, picture in picture. So, hour and 52 minutes into this show now. 8 minutes remaining, with what we believe to be a run over as well. So, so if you're an AEW fan and you caught this, maybe you even fast forward, just see BC's review of it in totality. I'll say what I always say. I want this company to succeed, and I hope they do. I hope they get better. Was it the worst pro wrestling show I've ever seen? Absolutely not. But I don't watch every Wednesday either, so maybe if it's just boring or lame or not as creative as it should be every single week, maybe people have had enough. But I saw some decent things tonight. I really like the Jack Perry thing where he's all tied up. I wish it was produced better. And they let it breathe a little bit more, and it just felt like it's more meaningful and special. But I like what they did with the tie-up segment with Jack Perry. I like the Hurt Syndicate trying to find Swerve. I don't know what else. The Mercedes thing was all right. There's a few things that, you could add to it, and it would have been a lot more, it could have been something. But in totality, guys, we're about to finish this show. In 7 minutes, the full 2 hours will be up. Again, not including any overtime. This was not a show that I would come back and watch next week or make time for or cancel something to make sure I view this. So I can see why the ratings are where they are. I can see why people are frustrated. This didn't feel like the AEW that I used to watch every Wednesday, right? There was a certain energy to AEW. There was a certain they were having fun and they were trying new stuff. They were getting creative. They did feel like, I don't know about alternative, but like this little renegade group that you kind of couldn't turn away from. This feels so different tonight. It just feels so low-tempered. It just feels just like run-of-the-mill show. You wouldn't even think there's a pay-per-view this weekend. With a roster that has so many stars, man. A roster that has, slight exaggeration, 200 people on it. And you just got Wheeler and Orange and Darby and Claudio, Stat and Sheeta, 8-man tag with Fletcher and Ospreay. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. There's so much that you need to change on this show, and I think that's the problem, man. Commercial just got over. We're back now. They're just throwing punches at each other, Orange and Wheeler. There's so much that needs attention to on this show that I don't know if maybe Tony kind of subconsciously just gave up. Tony's like, listen, there's too much to fix. I don't have the time right now. Let's just keep booking shows and act like there is no issues. But I can only speak for me, and I'm casual to AEW for sure, Dynamite for sure. But I can speak for myself and a lot like BC in saying that in tuning in tonight, this is totally different than what I used to witness with AEW when it was at its peak. Cassidy with a pin, Wheeler kicks out. So the Mox storyline was like the biggest thing, and Mox has basically been a non-factor tonight in his group. They had that little promo backstage. I thought Shafir and Wheeler and their facial expressions were really good. Claudio was yelling. Mox was good in the promo. But that's a storyline as well in a group that quickly got panned by the audience. The audience was not happy with the direction of it pretty much from the jump. So something that they were really going to hang their hat on and it was supposed to be really cool ended up being anti. And fans pretty much panned it. So maybe that's why you didn't see a lot of Mox and such. Again, that should change at the end of this match. Obviously, that's what they're saving everything for. There'll be some involvement that'll set up Mox and Cassidy for Full Gear. But as far as the totality of the 2-hour show, not a lot of this group that I think was supposed to be a bigger attraction every week. But I think that feedback actually got through to them and they're like, all right, maybe we should take it back a little bit, think about what we're doing. I liked Mox group, to be honest with you, but yeah, they did botch it a few things. I mean, some of the highlights that I saw over the week, some of the things that I heard. Man, just watching the crowd's reaction, some of the faces, it's rough, man. I'm guessing they didn't pay a lot to go. It's just not fun. Nobody looks like they're having fun. Even when they cheer, it's kind of like, yeah, it's like what we're supposed to do. Again, I just grew up in different eras with an S, eras. Golden era, 80s into the 90s. 80s into the 90s, you had the Warriors, just all of that. It was so fun, man. And then you went into the Attitude Era, and that was just a life of its own. There'll never be anything like that. And even Ruthless Aggression brought on a whole nother, chapter of stars and personalities and stories. And then the last decade, I don't know, man. There's so much hurting right now in wrestling, and there's many reasons why. But you look at these crowds today, primetime wrestling show, and everyone is sitting on their thumbs yawning. And by the way, not a bad match. You know what I mean? If we're just talking wrestling match, Wheeler Yuta with a pile driver and cover, Cassidy kicks out. If we're talking wrestling match, I mean, it's not bad at all. They're in sync. They're not... Obviously, these are two consummate professionals. No botches or mishaps or miscues, missteps. No. Full velocity. Yeah, both the dudes are just on their game. They're clicking together. It's a decent match, even if you want to call it a good match. That doesn't necessarily translate into a good show. There's been several good matches, I feel, or at least decent matches tonight. That's not the problem with AEW, having good wrestling matches. That's never been their problem. Cassidy hits the ropes. Looks like, what is that, like a submission? Yeah, Wheeler had him in some submission. Cassidy gets to the ropes. Bryce Remsburg, or whoever this ref is, doesn't even break the hold. Didn't even look like he was trying. He's just like, hey, can you break it, please? These referees, I'm telling you guys. Wheeler just went to the outside to grab a steel chair. I don't blame him. He can use it, and the referee isn't going to know what to do. Hey, you just hit him in the head with a chair. What do I do now? He goes to hit him in the head with a chair, but Cassidy was able to duck it. Cassidy rolls him up with a little fruit roll-up. That was it? Oh, Cassidy pinned... What is the referee doing? Is it 3 or not? Why does he keep holding up number? The referee counted, and then he's just holding up. Did he say 3? Then hold up his hand. I think that was the match. Cassidy rolled him up. Oh, now he's lifted. Okay, so Cassidy just pinned Wheeler Yuta. That was weird. He just rolled him up. The WWE fruit roll up. Oh, we're gonna have mutual respect? No, not with Yuta. Pac comes out of nowhere, kicks Cassidy in the face post-match. So that was a stupid ending. The crowd couldn't care less about that finish. It was stupid. It was awkward. I don't like that finish at all, man. A roll-up. Pac hits the ring, kicks Cassie in the face, and now Claudio's in the ring. Mox is in the ring. Shafir is in the ring. Or right now, Shafir and Mox is... now they're in the ring. Okay, so here's Mox's group. A bastard Pac is now putting the boots with Claudio to Orange. Shafir handed Pac some duct tape, it looks like. Shafir has the Money in the Bank briefcase, it looks like, as well. I'm just saying. She does have a briefcase, though. Oh, that's funny. Claudio is putting Orange's hands in his pocket, his own hands, and then Pac is duct taping the hands into the pockets. That's pretty funny. I love Mox's facial expression. I like Mox gets so much hate in this company, man. And he put this company on his back several times with the whole Punk shit and everything. And he was going to go on vacation with Renee. And Tony said, dude, we need you. Can you just like postpone vacation? And he said, yeah, anything for you, boss. I got you. And Mox canceled the vacation, came back and held this company together. So Mox just takes so much heat from fans, dude. And he's so loyal. And he's so... Oh, nice right hand to Cassidy. It's basically 5-on-1 right now. Mox is so loyal and Mox is so dependable. And Mox is good. I like his characters and he's believable. But even before this group, man, people always panned Mox. Anyway, that's just a Mox little rant. I had to show some love over to Mox, man. Everyone bashes the dude. I stand firmly behind Mox. Cassidy, oh, look at So they're all just, I mean, Mox is just kind of beating him down while his hands are duct taped in his pockets. But he got back to his feet and Cassidy just started doing his Cassidy kicks. You know, the little slight kicks to the shin. Those mock kicks. So that just pissed Mox off even more. Mox just throws another right hand, knocks Cassidy out. Shafir has her boot right on the face of Cassidy as Mox talks trash and sends his boot to the other side of Cassidy's face. Mox is going to the outside. Oh, are they just leaving? I thought they were going to get something else. We're 3 minutes over, 2 hours, 3 minutes into the show, by the way, so we are into an overtime. Is that it? They're just going to leave? Is that the show? Mox and the crew are just leaving. So they duct taped Cassie's hands. They threw some right hands at him. A couple boots. And now a conglomeration is coming out. You got Briscoe is out there. Ishii's out there. Kyle O'Reilly, I believe, is out there. They're cutting the tape. So Cassie's got his hands out of his pockets. So they honored. I mean, Cassidy said, do not come out by any means. They didn't until Mox's crew left, and then they all came out. Cassidy is on his feet, enraged as he looks into the crowd where Mox and all them are just hanging out. I don't know why they're just hanging out, they're yelling at fans? Cassidy puts sunglasses on. And Cassidy is putting his hands up in the air. And he's putting his hands in his pockets. That was weird, okay. Is that like defiance? Like you duct taped my hands? I got them free? And then I re-tucked them in my pants. How do you like that? I'll put my own hands in my pockets, buddy. This is what I mean. If this is your best television, you're going to lose more viewers. If that's going to hurt people's feelings, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is the most honest review you're going to get, man. I came into this really hoping this was going to be good, hoping that it's not as bad as everybody is making sound, because I'm thinking everybody's just jumping on a bandwagon, trashing AEW just for the hell of it. This can't be your best booking, bro. It can't be. This dude got his hands unfucking tied and just put them back in his pockets in defiance. Wow, you really showed Mox. And we just went off the air. Guys, I rip WWE because of this trashy booking. I have to do the same for AEW, whether I catch this every Wednesday night or not. If you think that's going to bring casual fans, lapsed fans, or even keep their tried and true fans, just look at the numbers. Look at the trajectory. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Was this the worst pro wrestling show I've ever seen? No. Maybe it is what Bischoff. Maybe it is to Bischoff and many people. Maybe if you see this type of booking every single Wednesday, yeah, you've had enough. You're throwing in the white towel. I completely understand. I would not want to do this every Wednesday. I'm barely holding on to Monday Night Raw every Monday night. That's how bad that show is from the E. But, I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's nothing that I would need to tune in next week or that I'm going to. I can tell you right now, I am not watching this next week, most likely. Not live. I'm hoping they produce really epic television. I'm hoping it makes me have to tune in to a lot of it. Catch a replay somehow. But this did not do anything. It absolutely did not make me want to tune into Full Gear or spend a dime on Full Gear. I'll probably catch it for you guys. I'll probably cover it in the next amped upload after Full Gear, whenever that is, Sunday, most likely Monday. So I'll cover it most likely. But I can't tell you that this would make me want to spend a dime on it. This was a go-home show to Full Gear. What the hell are you selling? Statlander dropped Mercedes on her dome piece. I gotta watch that match. Mox tied up the hands of Cassidy, then walked away. Cassidy got his hands free, put his hands back in his pockets. Man, what a go-home show for Mox and Cassidy. Did you see Jericho and Ishii's contract signing? They went all into the corridors, up the stairs, to the ring, and then there was a brawl. Did you guys see Kyle O'Reilly do his sentimental promo to Adam Cole and confuse everybody into a sleep-inducing conundrum? Come on, man. I was hoping for a lot better, man. My first time seeing Dynamite in a while. I was really hoping this was going to be their grand slam. Show everybody, relax. You can say all you want, that it's a bad show and this and that, but guess what? We are now delivering. It starts now, and we are going to consistently be bashing these shows out of the park. And I was hoping to be a part of that live when it all began tonight. Instead, it's not that far off from what people have been saying. I don't want to rant another hour. This has already been over 2 hours. By the time we put it all together, piece all this is going to be a very long upload. The first time we've done anything like this on the channel. So salute to every single one of you guys. And if you're a fan of pro wrestling, I really hope you found this interesting, because this is from another straight up amplified professional wrestling fan. I'll put my critic hat to the side. I am a fan first. And that is as honest as I can be with you guys. And I'll say that for any company, as I do. You're on prime time. You have to produce better, more creative television than this. I could keep going on and on. I'm not going to. That's my Wednesday night. That's how I spent it. I have no regrets for sure, because we got to talk a lot about mostly what's wrong with all this. Hopefully it gets corrected. They have a lot of work to do, but thank you guys, man. This has been a lot of fun nonetheless, because I got to, I know it's for you guys. And what we're doing here is a microcosm of the grander picture, right? We're really making change, and hopefully we are going to help make things better for these companies. That's the hope anyway. That's the mission statement. Till next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are a BC in the unit. Saying check you. Salute.